The UK Home Secretary arrived in Kigali and immediately set to work finalising the announcement that some asylum seekers crossing the Channel to the UK will now face a one-way ticket to Rwanda under new government immigration plans. The UK has been struggling with rising numbers crossing the Channel and is pitching this plan as a way of putting off the smuggling gangs, targeting economic migrants as opposed to genuine refugees, and tackling anti-immigration political pressure.
Our new migration and economic development partnership will mean that anyone entering the UK illegally, as well as those who have arrived illegally since January the 1st, may now be relocated to Rwanda. This innovative approach, driven by our shared humanitarian impulse and made possible by Brexit freedoms, will provide safe and legal routes for asylum while disrupting the business model of the gangs.
The government in Kigali has been negotiating for some time, and the government hopes this is the start of a wider programme.
This is part of the United Kingdom's new plan for immigration, to control our borders, protect our communities, stop dangerous illegal migration, help the world's most desperate people, and welcome international talents to the UK.
Under the proposal, the Rwandan government would take responsibility for the migrants and put them through an asylum process with a view to settlement in country. The government says Rwanda is one of the safest states in the world. Labour says this is all about avoiding talk of Downing Street parties.
I think this is not about tackling the small boats issue. This is about tackling the government's own sinking boat issue.
The idea of offshore camps abroad is not new. Following an Australian example, the UK government has looked at Albania, Ascension Island, Ghana and Gibraltar, but all have fallen through. UN representatives and NGOs have already called the plans cruel and nasty.
We have years of evidence from Australia about precisely this policy measure, which has done nothing to stop people coming to Australia seeking asylum, has inflicted a huge amount of cruelty on a relatively small number of people, basically imprisoned for years and years.
About 28,500 people made the perilous journey last year. In November alone, 27 drowned. According to the Home Office, 9 out of 10 making the journey were male, 7 out of 10 were single, but many of them, of course, are children. It currently costs the government $4.5 million a day to house about 25,000 asylum seekers. The initial payment to Rwanda would be about $170 million.